I hope this is the way out. To freedom, not to eternity.
Where am I?
We're on a capsized ship that could sink any minute now, and you've been trapped under a massive steel girder. But I'll think of something, don't worry.
Don't worry. When should I be worried, if not now?
Good point. But I'm sure I can find a way out of this. You saved my life after all. I owe you.
Thank you, but I boarded the ship for a reason. You remember the incident at the harbor?
The man who had that fatal accident?
Exactly. He must have slipped you a letter right before it happened.
But I haven't got any letter. Besides, there are more important things we should be worrying about right now. We need to get out of here.
Why do you think such odd things happened on board? Why do you think people had to die? Trust me, this is important. I will not leave the ship without this document. You must find this letter.
The cabinet is secured by a combination lock. A picture of the ship naming ceremony. A bust of somebody or other. They must have broken apart in the fall. The drumheads haven't been damaged, though, so they should still be usable. The photo of the guy who disguised himself as a doctor. The window still appears to be holding under the pressure, and I am certainly not about to change that. Looks pretty sturdy. I can't yank that out. The pipe definitely looks worse for wear. There's a big hole at the top of it, and a connecting piece got ripped out below. I can still see some oil at the very bottom of the pipe itself. I will place the bongo drum under the pipe with its open end up. Look. The pipe definitely. I will place the bongo drum under the pipe with its open end up. This is not a passage to the room above. It's only a part of the floor between the decks that broke open. The steel girder is way too heavy. I can't lift it without some kind of equipment. There's already a... I can't reach it. There's water on the other side. How about I leave the door closed, stay put, and the water can do the same? Seems like a fair trade. The wheel is completely rusted in place. Even a gorilla couldn't turn it. In order to open the drawers, I need to enter the correct number code first. There's water. This is not a passage to the room above. I could whack it against the door, but I doubt. I'm sure there is plenty of water below this hatch. Right now the lever is set to stop. I could set it to either full speed ahead or full reverse speed. Full speed ahead. Something appears to have moved in the room above me. This is not a passage to the... I can't reach it. Right now the lever is set to stop. I could set it to either full speed ahead or full reverse speed. And now the other way. Something appears to have moved in the room above me. The cabinet is secured by a combination lock. Looks pretty sturdy. The pipe definitely looks worse for wear. There's a big hole at the top of it, and a connecting piece got ripped out below. I can still see some oil at the very bottom of the pipe itself. Red sock, while my hair... My handbag looks like... Right now the lever is set to stop. I could set it to either full speed ahead or full reverse speed. And now the other way. Nothing happened, and the lever immediately jumped back to stop. Full speed ahead. Something appears to have moved in the room above me. There's water. This is not a...
Did you find the letter?
No. But...
Please keep looking. We need this letter.
Oh, dang. Without this mysterious letter, he'll refuse to leave the... The cabinet is... I could whack it against the door, but I doubt there's anyone who will hear me knocking. Right now, the lever full speed ahead. Nothing happened, and the lever immediately jumped back to stop. I will place the bongo drum under the pipe with its open end up. There's already a bomb. They must have broken apart in the fall. A picture of the ship naming ceremony. In order to 7, 4, 7, 5. I wonder whether that was the right sequence of numbers. I think that was correct. The drawer is empty, but I could at least use it as a makeshift stairway in order to reach the upper hatch. It's stuck. I could step on that drawer in order to reach the hatch, but before I open it, I should make sure that there's no water behind it. Otherwise, it could get rather uncomfortable down here. It's closed, but climbing through that hatch... Right now, and now the other way. Something appears to have moved in the room above me. I could step on that drawer in order to reach the hatch, but before I open it, I should make sure that there's no water behind it. Otherwise, it could get rather uncomfortable down here. That sounded hollow. There seems to be no water on the other side. There isn't much left of that fancy reception area. As long as this puddle doesn't get any bigger, I don't have much to worry about, apart from the fact that I am trapped in a capsized, sinking ship. Luckily, it doesn't contain much water yet, not enough to scoop it out with the bongo drums. My hand. I've never been all that fond of aquariums, and that is not about to change. All the records it contained are scattered across. The door is locked, and the doorknob is missing, too. That's the way to the engine room. It's securely fastened. Tugging on that won't help. That's the... all kinds of papers. I don't think I will find that letter here, but maybe at least this will help convince the guy who saved my life that it makes no sense to go looking for it. I found my ticket. And just like I thought, there isn't a... Oh, but there is. It's true then. The man at the harbor really did slip me a letter. But the document is full of cryptic symbols. I can't make heads or tails of it. And the enclosed drawing doesn't make much sense either. That's the way to the engine room. My ticket, and the letter is full of cryptic symbols. Climb up there? Forget it. Climb up there? Forget it. The door is locked, and the door... I can hardly bust the door. I can... Climb up there? Forget it. Fat chance. There's no way to pry this hatch open. I will pour a little water into the pipe. All right, I've got the oil. Now for an opportunity to make good use of it. A little oil could do wonders for the rusty wheel. Fat chance. I can't just leave the man behind here. I've got the letter and an escape route. Now all I need to do is get you out of here.
Great. Please, hurry.
I've got the letter and an escape route. Now all I need to do is get...
Great.
The steel girder is way too heavy. I can't lift it without some kind of equipment. Out of order and completely useless now. All the records it can... The ladder is in shambles. There's no way I can fix that. The door is locked, and the doorknob is missing, too. I can hardly... I can hardly... As long as this puddle doesn't get any bigger, I don't have... One bongo drum full of water should be enough. It's securely fastened. Tugging on that won't help. I can't... I hope this is the way out. The steel girder... Right now the lever is set to stop. Full speed ahead. Right now the lever... If I use the lever now, the chain will probably just be pulled up again. Full speed ahead. Nothing happened, and the lever immediately jumped back to stop. If I use the lever now, the chain will probably just be pulled up again. That's the way to the engine room. Climb up there? Forget it. That's the... The steel girder is way too heavy. I can't lift it without some kind of equipment. I have wrapped the chain around the steel girder, but there is no way to fasten it. Let's hope this will hold. I can't think of a better alternative. Right now, the lever is set to stop. Full speed ahead. Nothing happened, and the lever... And now the other way. I actually managed to find that blasted letter, so now we should get out of here as fast as we can.
What? How? All right.
We're going to have to dive a few yards. Do you think you can make it?
I will have to. It's not like I've got a choice. The cold water is bound to keep me awake for a few minutes.
Right, let's go. That was close. Much too close.
Yes,
Are you okay?
Yes. No, not really. You wouldn't happen to have some sugar on you?
Sugar? You've got some nerve.
Diabetes. I'm hypoglycemic right now. I need glucose or a little sugar. Otherwise...
Otherwise, what?
Otherwise, I will faint again. And in a few hours, I will die.
Are you kidding? No. By the look of you, I guess you're not. Hello? He's not reacting. He's still conscious, but totally lethargic. Here I am, stuck on a beach in the middle of nowhere without a living soul in sight. And my only companion needs glucose, or some form of sugar. Where am I supposed to find that? My goodness, what a mess! Oh, I hope there's something usable in here. A lot of the stuff in here is damp, but this still looks dry enough to wear. I'll just take one of these. I can't shift it. However, I don't think I really need to anyway. I'm not going anywhere near that. I don't have a death wish. I can't just climb up that pole. I was no good at that kind of thing back in school, and this one's damp and slippery. Nothing doing. There must be quite a charge on that cable. Sparks are flying from the live end, and the ground all around it looks scorched. I'd have to be some kind of comic book hero to get up there. Or a talented rock climber. I can't reach it. There is a chance that the spear will just go straight through the medical kit and pin it down. And the way things have been going, I don't think I should count on my luck. This has seen better days. Let's see. A handful of worthless documents and a candy bar. Good idea. I'm sure the sugar in this candy bar would help him. But I'm afraid he's in no condition to chew anything at the moment. I should find something for him to drink. I bet it contains all kinds of handy tools. Unfortunately, it's locked. I could easily get over there, but getting back might pose a problem. First, I'll try to find something to help my unconscious companion over here. It's a bit too heavy to throw. I've always wanted to have a go at firing one of these. I could probably climb up to the fuse box now, but there's no way I'm using my bare hands to tinker with it. It would have been useful on board that sinking ship, but not here. The pebbles are much easier to carry inside this bag. I'll just wind this hose around here. I could easily... I would need some kind of charging device to recharge the battery. Just holding it up to the power cable won't accomplish anything. I should look for something that's easier to throw. I should look for some... It's full of heavy tools. I'm glad I can even lift it. Any attempt to throw it would fail miserably. It's not very airworthy. And now for my attempt at a new bag-throwing record. Genius! Let's see if there's anything useful in here. Rats, no glucose, just a couple of bandages. Looks like I'll have to think of something else. Before I scoop up any water, I need to make sure the bucket doesn't fill up with any rubbish and dirt. The flood wave flushed out plenty into the sea. Let's mummify this. Good idea. That way I should be able to get some reasonably clean water. The water may be reasonably drinkable now, but water alone isn't going to help him. What he needs is glucose. If I drop the candy bar in cold water, it will just float on top. Then what? This metal sheet is covered in rust and totally filthy. I wouldn't put any food on there, not even if it's covered with several layers of wrappers. An electric puddle is not what I need right now. They're not so pretty that I want... I could hang this bucket on the hat stand. All right, that's what I'll do then. I'll just pour the water into the bucket hanging from the hat stand. This contains about the same amount of calories as a hearty meal. I could easily get over there, but getting... If I need... good idea. I'm sure the sugar... Thanks, I've got enough. I hung the bucket on the hat stand. It's not exactly the hat stand's job description, but it will just have to adapt. If I bend this sheet of metal a bit and then lodge it between those teeth, there, it worked. This metal sheet is covered in rust and totally filthy. I wouldn't put any food on there, not even if it's covered with several layers of wrappers. Sometimes I'm really... I could probably climb up to the fuse box now. It would have been useful. The sea is quite calm again. The chaos on the beach and the junk floating in the filthy water. My ticket, and the mysterious letter I was given at the harbor. The letter is full of cryptic symbols. I bet it contains all kinds of... Everything else in here is damp. I'd have to be some... There seem to be place names on that signpost, but I can't read them from here. The documents from the briefcase. I'd have to go near that live power cable. Much too risky. This metal sheet is covered in rust and I can't shift it. There are warning notices on it. Flammable and corrosive. There's still some liquid at the bottom of the barrel. Looking at the labels on this barrel, I'm pretty sure the stuff in there is not something I'd like to carry around with me. I could easily... I'm not going... There must be quite a charge on that cable. Sparks are flying from the live end, and the ground all around it looks scorched. With those spears sticking out of the pole, I should be able to reach the fuse box now. I should try to open the toolbox first. They're not so pretty. The car battery contains a strong acid. If I pour just a little on this lock, that should do the trick. Yes, it worked. Quite an impressive selection of tools, but I don't have anything to tinker with right now. Luckily, there's a pair of insulated pliers in the toolbox. Okay, here goes. The power's off. I would need some kind of charging device to recharge the battery. Just holding it up to the power cable will... Looking at the labels on this battery... For my next adventure, I'm going to insist on a double for dangerous stunts, I swear. Now the power is back on again. The power's off. The power's off, but what am I supposed to do with the cable? I'll have to be very careful with this. I really don't want to get acid on my hands. I would need some kind of charging device to recharge the battery. Just holding it up to the power cable won't accomplish anything. I could easily get over there, but getting... Thanks, I've got enough. I hung the bucket on the hat stand. It's not exactly the hat stand's job description, but it will just have to adapt. There are warning notices on it. Flammable and corrosive. There's still some liquid at the bottom of the barrel. This metal sheet is covered in rust and totally filthy. I wouldn't put any food on there, not even if it's covered with several layers of wrappers. Looking at the labels on this barrel, I'm pretty sure the stuff in there is not something I'd like to carry around with me. With those spears sticking out of the pole, I should be able to reach the fuse box now. I've turned the power off. For my next adventure, now the power is back on again. The power's off. I hung the bucket on the hat stand. It's not exactly the hat stand's job description, but it will just have to adapt. I'd have to be some kind of comic book. Everything else in here is... My suitcase! I can't believe it got washed ashore right here and now. I mean, what are the odds? I'm on a diet. I could easily get over there, but getting back might pose a problem. First, I'll try to find something to help my unconscious companion over here. Hypoglycemia is so bad that he's totally unresponsive. For my next adventure, I'm going to insist on the double for dangerous stunts, I swear. Now the power is back on again. The documents from the briefcase. Bills and other insignificant papers. I'd have to go near that live power cable. Much too risky. Luckily. The power's off. If I tear up these documents, they should burn quite well. I've torn the documents into little pieces. Up the pole, down the pole, up the pole, down the pole. Who am I, Tarzan? Yay! It worked! The documents are on fire. The power's off. A nice little blaze, and I didn't even need matches or a lighter. But the documents won't burn forever. The fire will go out soon unless I think of something. Looking at the labels... looking... A nice... The fire will probably go out long before the chocolate melts. Let's hope this doesn't result in a high jet of flame. I don't need a bad hair day on top of everything else. Great! Now I have a lovely fire going that should burn for some time, hopefully. So, what's on the menu today? Good idea. But I'll pour away some of this water first. I'm sure I don't need that much for this little candy bar. There. That's better. Soup au chocolat. This recipe may get me my own cooking show someday. The candy bar has melted. I can take the bucket down now. It will probably still taste a bit salty, but in this case, the end justifies the means. Here, drink this. It will help.
Ah, thank you so much. I really needed that.
You're welcome. Looks like I've taken the lead in our little life-saving contest. You owe me.
Yes, you're probably right. You'll want some answers to your questions, I suppose.
Well, I've been robbed, knocked out, shot at, and nearly drowned. I'd say a few answers are the least I can expect, wouldn't you?
Right. Let's start at the beginning. First, my name is David Corell. I'm a vicar in Berlin, and I investigate sects and the dangers they pose on behalf of the church.
Pleased to meet you. Nina Kalinko.
Very nice to meet you. So, as I said, I deal with certain associations outside of the church. Some time ago, I came across a new, very aggressive sect by the name of Puritas Cordis.
The sect of that televangelist, Pat Shelton?
Right on. Apparently, Puritas Cordis believes in the prophecies of Zandona, an obscure 17th century French prophet.
Something along the lines of Nostradamus?
Yes, but the prophecies of Nostradamus were really vague and quite open to interpretation. Zandona, on the other hand, predicted a series of very real disasters. They were supposed to happen in a specific order, culminating in the apocalypse.
Zandona. Now, where have I heard that name before?
I tried to look him up in old church archives. Not very successfully, though.
You mean there's nothing at all about Zandona?
Not much. At least not anymore. The central registers are missing several tomes of records from this period. And I didn't have much luck in other archives either. Practically all records that might have contained some information about Zandona have vanished into thin air. Then, 2 weeks ago, a centuries-old parchment surfaced in Cambridge. A letter from a nun mentioning Zandona. The very letter you're carrying right now.
Ah, so that's what these people on the ship were looking for?
I think so, yes. Anyone who possesses it is definitely in danger.
Just my luck.
The last person who had the letter before you was my colleague, Patterson. He was going to follow some clues from the letter in northern France. He was the one who slipped you the letter at the harbor. He was probably being followed, and when he noticed, he passed the letter on to you. Not a moment too soon. May the Lord have mercy on his soul.
And now I'm stuck with it.
Unfortunately, yes. I'm so sorry that you got dragged into this. I witnessed the so-called accidents at the harbor. I realized he must have given someone the letter, so I boarded the ship in his place. I wanted to make sure the letter didn't fall into the wrong hands, and that its new owner was safe.
People are being murdered for an old letter? Could its contents really be that important?
Ashford, England, Anno Domini 1681. Now that my grey life is moving towards its equally grey closure, I can finally muster the courage to write down what I saw. My hands are still shaking today when I think of all the poor souls of Gatineau. I will never forget them. Screaming women, burning houses, crying children. A flaming inferno. Just like he predicted. Just like every single one of the disasters he foretold. This Zandona, he may be a man of faith, he may be a prophet, but is he also a man of God? There is no sense in musing about that now. I have failed. The key lay within my hands. The key that could have halted all the looming disasters and changed the course of events. The burning mountains, the great flood, the apocalypse. Perhaps it was up to me to prevent them. But my faith was weak. All those years, the key lay well hidden within the ruins of Gatineau. And the saint who showed me the way appeared to me in a dream every night. But my fear was too great, and I never returned there. I have failed. And therefore, all I have left is hope. The hope that those brothers and sisters who follow may not succumb to the phantoms of fear, doubt, and weakness, as I did. The hope that they may boldly take the only path that is still open, strong in faith and fearless in action. I pray to God that it might be thus. Otherwise, the last of the prophecies will come true as well, and our fates will be sealed. May the Lord be with you. May you find the strength to take the key and try to stem the tide of Zandona's prophecies. Forgive me, Sister Elise.
That doesn't sound good.
Not good? Sister Elise basically announced that the apocalypse is almost upon us.
Oh, come on. That seems a bit exaggerated.
Have you already forgotten the flood wave then?
How could I?
See? And what did the letter say? It mentioned a flood wave, didn't it?
That could be a coincidence.
And by mere coincidence, some people are leaving dead bodies in their wake just to get their hands on this letter? And by mere coincidence, during these last few weeks, a major part of the very disasters that Zandona foretold happened one after the other, in the exact order of the prophecy.
Which is...
First pestilence and disease, just like the epidemic in Western Africa that still has millions of people living as fugitives.
So you think that was the first harbinger? What next?
Next, the punishment of the greedy.
The burning oil fields in the Middle East leading up to a severe economic crisis?
Probably, and then a war.
There are plenty of those to choose from. But the most gruesome is probably the Civil War in South America, triggered by the collapse of the financial system.
Earthquake.
Japan.
Burning mountains.
The volcanic eruptions in Southeast Asia.
Followed by a flood.
Which we've seen for ourselves. You're beginning to scare me.
I am sorry, but this is what Zandona's prophecy says. And it is also what the Puritas Cordis sect is preaching. I have no idea what the key might be that Sister Elise mentions in her letter, but she seems to think that the prophecies can be stopped by using this key.
How can anyone stop a prophecy?
Beats me, but I know this much. If there is even the slightest possibility that all those disasters may actually be followed by the apocalypse, we have a real problem on our hands. And if there is even a remote possibility of stopping the apocalypse, or at least taking some appropriate preventive measures, then we should definitely make use of it.
Okay, you're right. I can't and won't really believe that a bunch of old prophecies are about to come true. But looking down from a cloud afterwards and saying, if only I had, doesn't seem too tempting either. What do you suggest?
We need to go to Gatineau.
Where exactly is that?
The place vanished from the history books centuries ago. But a few years ago, they discovered the ruins of a small town that they think is Gatineau. And if there is anything left to find there, we must do so before anyone else does, before it's too late.
Then we should head there immediately. There's another section of beach over that way. Maybe we'll find something there that will help us get away from here. I'm going to need your help, though. It's a rather steep descent.
That should be all right. I'm still feeling sort of shaky, but I guess I'll be up to lending you a hand for a little climb. When you want to come back, just let me know. I'll help you get up here then.
Great. I'm going to take a look around.
You do that. Maybe you can somehow fix the boat over there. And it would be good to know where on earth we are.